And we're live.
Hello, SHL. It's Rich and Adam again,
Yep.
correctly.
Hey, yeah. You got it this
We
week.
did it. Yeah. Number 15.
15.
Yeah. Cool. That's
This the
that's pretty
podcast
good.
that wasn't supposed to happen, but here we are.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, in case anybody didn't know, we were planning to not do a podcast this week.
Mm.
And then kind of last minute it ended up happening. So here we are.
Yeah. Here we are. I'm glad. I look forward to it. So.
Yeah. So we don't have a lot prepared. We didn't get a ton of questions either, but
we could fill the time.
Yeah,
we
we'll
always
see
fill
what
the space somehow.
Yeah. We'll think of something. So yeah, start right off the bat. Congratulations to you, not to the Whalers, because I can't do that.
Yeah, I
can
know.
congratulate you.
Thank you. That was that was a lot of work. That's like 7 years in the making.
Yeah, because you were co for like 4 seasons, something like that. Is that right?
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent 5 co-GMing under Ted, so this is basically 5 or 6 seasons in the making, this cup. So it's just nice to get it done, and now to be able to retire as a GM for now.
Do you have any like? Do you think you might go back either SHL or back to SMJHL?
I will never go back to juniors. That is one thing I will never do. But if something comes up in the SHL that interests me down the line when I'm not working head office anymore, then maybe, yeah. For now, I'm looking forward to getting back to focusing on my player.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what else. I guess you want to go into questions, or you have anything else you want to add to that?
No, big shout out to the platoon. Good for you guys.
Oh yeah, of course.
We talk all the time about how unreliable the platoon are, but you know what? Way to keep proving us wrong.
And you know what? Honestly, this is like the exact platoon win, like a sweep of the best team in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously, that's what happens with
It's the most platoon cup possible. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, no, congrats, definitely. There's still a bunch of people on that team that I like, and
yeah, lots of great people on that team. Yeah, I just figure we talk a lot about, they're either going to be bottom of the league or top of the league, and this year they were top of the league. So you guys keep doing you. See you in 4th place next year.
Yeah, right. I wonder how many people had them winning the East. I bet it's a lot, right?
Yeah, probably a fair bit. They're for as inconsistent as they are in the regular season, they're kind of a safe bet.
I mean, to make the playoffs, yeah, but it's just like, well,
it's tough. The record's spotty in the postseason, so
yeah, it's just weird. But anyway, congrats.
Yeah, shout out to them. Other than that, though, we can get right into questions.
Yeah. So Luke actually posted these before we had, I think, any intention of recording.
God bless you.
This is like 3-4 days ago, something like that. He asked, "How does it feel to be a winner?" I'm assuming he means you, because I didn't win shit.
It feels phenomenal. That's a really big weight off of my chest. I was stepping down from Vancouver this season, regardless of a cup win, but to get my 3rd President's Trophy or Lorifer Trophy, whatever it is in juniors, to get my 3rd top of the league trophy, and we'll see if we get a GM of the Year award, make it 3 of those, but just to top my whole GM career off with a 4-star cup win just feels good. It's a nice note to go out on.
Yeah, for sure.
And doing it in 5's great. That's a great feeling.
Oh yeah, and it feels like it's kind of like the way the league has been recently. It would have been, I think, really hard not hard, but disappointing for Vancouver had they not won it this season.
Mm-hmm.
Just given the kind of league dynamic right now and where they kind of stand compared to the rest of the teams.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have sucked if we didn't win it this year. That's like the most apt way I can put it. This was the year, or we were going to be the laughingstock of the league, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it felt like almost like it was like yours to lose, kind of, in a way. I mean, obviously that's not how it
Exactly.
works, but
Not
like,
to
yeah,
not to shit on the other teams in the playoffs because there were a lot of great squads that made the postseason in juniors, but yes, this was our cup to lose. I think.
yeah. Because I'm not super familiar with the juniors, but my understanding is that Vancouver is kind of like a full head above everybody else in terms of roster.
Right now it is. Next year, different question.
Yeah, I think next year is going to be a little bit. Things are going to shake up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I
Vancouver's
feel
still
like
be
a lot of
good.
those S43 kids are going to be going up.
Yeah,
So,
I know that a few guys are. I know Lepish is leaving us, and um,
hmm.
a few guys are going up. Vancouver's still gonna be good, but I think the league will have more parity next year.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the impression I get. Just kind of what I've been hearing around the league. So,
Yeah, so it feels good. Feels good to win always.
oh yes.
Of course, it feels good to win. I can't imagine it would feel good to lose.
I have not experienced that, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that I've ever experienced it.
Maybe one of those things where it's really close and you weren't expected to win, so losing's fine.
Yeah, like
I
kind of
don't
like trying to think like I don't know if you watch Olympic hockey.
know. Kind of. I
Um,
mean, yeah.
but the Germans got silver this past Winter Olympics.
Hmm.
And any other team in the world, it's like, fuck, we didn't win gold, right? But the Germans internationally are not that good in the real world.
Hmm.
I mean, fuck, they're not that good in the sim world right now either. But internationally, they're not that renowned for their hockey. So I gotta
Right.
imagine the Germans felt okay taking silver, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That
the
makes
only
sense.
time I can think of that.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All
There's
right,
your,
Luke.
there's your real world
He's
hockey
got a
example
follow-up
for the day.
question. He
Yeah.
says, "I think it's safe to say that all of us in the Whalers locker room, are sad to see you leave us. But hopefully, the plan will turn out good." Any last words as a GM, even though you aren't the GM anymore, or I guess right now. So yeah, any
Um,
last words to them?
I hate sappy shit like this.
Oh man, I'd love it.
I hate sappy shit like this
It
because
used to
I'm
be
not
my
really
thing.
going anywhere. I'm still gonna be in the Whalers locker room, but I don't know. Shit's hard. Uh, Juniors more than the SHL. I think juniors is fucking hard because you got to deal with real quick turnover. Um, you have way more of a likelihood of people going inactive on you. You
Hmm.
have people who want high ice time, but they just don't have the TPE or the right build for high ice time. You really need to be able to control your people. You're trying to build a good locker room. I mean, juniors is fucking hard. It's so hard. But I know the guys that I'm hoping wind up taking charge at the Vancouver room are going to do great jobs with it because they're great guys. They know what they're doing. Teddy and I taught them very, very well. I think that the locker room's going to be fine with whoever comes in as GM. Last words. I mean, fuck Kelowna.
Wow,
You know,
that's really strong.
you know. Fuck Kelowna. Detroit can eat my ass. Halifax is fine. They never did anything to offend me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who else is there? St. Louis. I like those guys, but who the fuck else is in juniors? Anchorage is a shit team that should move back to Prince George. Actually, they shouldn't move back to Prince George. They should just move out of Anchorage. Fuck Colorado. And go Whalers. There you go. My last words as a GM.
Cool.
But importantly, fuck Kelowna. That's the important one, boys.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. I wasn't able to say, well, yeah. As a Kelowna alumni, it's difficult for me to say the Whalers are the 4-star Cup champions, but
Can't deny facts though, Rich.
yeah, yeah.
Numbers are
And
right there.
you can have 1 out of 4 as long as we get the other 3. It's cool.
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy that. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I got a cup. Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah. Juniors is weird.
It's tough. Juniors is tough.
I feel like it's the GMs take it more seriously than they did when I was kind of going through as a player, anyway.
Probably.
in terms of like the level of competition and things like free agency. Dealing with the free agents that sign up after the draft, that kind of stuff. I feel like it's a little more intense than it used to be. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
I don't know.
I think it is. I think that's the case. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I
Probably.
remember when I came in as a free agent, I basically got a message from one of the teams like, "Hey, you want to sign with us?" That was pretty much it. It was very casual, very like there wasn't anything. And then now it feels like it's a lot more formal, a lot more like you got to really sell the new guy on your
I don't think I
team.
signed a single free agent in my career.
Yeah, it's tough. The competition is was pretty intense when I was co, and I don't think it was kind of before that. At least I don't know. I guess, but it feels like it stepped up since I was a free agent player.
It's definitely the guys that are in juniors right now are just super, super, super passionate about it.
Well, I think that's always the case because it's everybody's first experience with the league. So and I think a lot of people will cite kind of their first season or two in the juniors as their favorite seasons in the league ever. It's just like it's new and it's fun and it's interesting and yeah.
Yeah, you're learning all the ropes. You're getting to hang out with people that are also kind of new, but you also get to
Mhm.
meet some vets. And juniors is a great environment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I talk shit on them all the time, but it's a great environment.
It's interesting. It's very different from the SHL, obviously.
It's very different from the SHL, in good and bad ways, right?
Right. I mean, it's hard to you can't really say that it's good or bad necessarily. It's just different. Its purpose is different, so the function of it is completely different.
There's just something I think way more laid back about SHL GMing, and I
Yeah. Well,
say that as a guy who isn't a GM but an HO. But
I mean, part of it is the players are a little bit. They're not totally known, but there's more information to work off of existing players that you're drafting.
well, and I think the biggest part of it, and I think the most stressful part of juniors for me was always the turnover. I mean,
For
you're
sure.
losing guys in 2, 3 seasons. As an SHL GM, you, for the most part, will probably have the same core for most of your career as a GM.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of guys don't move and don't negotiate, so this just like kind of just they just stay for the most part. So it's not not as much to do. I think there's probably more work to be done coaching wise, simply because you're dealing with more teams and
Absolutely.
a larger volume of players. But outside of that, it's probably less. I think on the whole, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
No,
I'm
I think
sure.
I think that is yeah, fuck. I think the point that you make is good. That it's yeah, I don't know. It's just I think you do more work GMing in juniors, but you do way more work coaching in um, in in the majors.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. If there's any GMs listening, tell us we're wrong or confirm. I don't
Yeah,
know.
or tell us
Whatever.
we're right. Even if we're wrong, maybe tell us we're right just to make me feel good.
I'd be interested to hear what a SHL GM thinks of that. But that's my feeling on it, anyways. There's yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of coaching within the juniors as well. But I think since you're dealing with fewer teams and it's a little more clear cut on who your top guys are in most cases, not like with Vancouver this season where you've got like would you have like three lines of 350 players?
We basically had 3 cap lines this year.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a little that's not quite a good example, but I think for the most part, you're dealing with like one line of max players, one line of kind of transition in between of going to be max next season players, and then one line of rookies. For the most part. So it's kind of it's a more clear hierarchy, right? Whereas the SHL, you
Yeah,
can there's a lot more. Yeah, you're going to have more high level guys, and then the combinations aren't really going to work out quite right, and you're going to have to, I think, tinker a lot more.
I
But I
yeah
don't know.
no, I would agree with that. I did a little bit of line making when I was in West Kendall. I don't do a whole lot of line making in Hamilton, but I did a
Mhm.
little bit of line making when I was in West Kendall, and you do definitely have to deal with the fact that you don't really have clear cut top guys. You have like a clear cut top 6 and like a clear cut top 4, but then
Right.
there's so much interplay between those 10 players,
Right.
between how you want to line them and how they work and where's the chemistry and all that shit. It's definitely you definitely go way more in depth with the lines in majors than you do in minors.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we got anything else to say there? Do we want to hit up Flappy's questions,
Yeah, let's go to Flappy.
or you want to go to awards really quick? or do you want to do?
Yeah, let's
What
do
do you
that
want
actually. I have to put a new battery in my mouse, so I'll do that.
to do? Okay.
Well, you
Okay.
segue to
I'll.
awards.
Sure. Sure. Okay. So the awards nominations are actually listed now because the award show is it's actually the date still says TBA, so I don't know if it's actually we actually have a date or not. But we have nominees, so we can maybe make a better um, determination of who we think is actually winning these awards. Although I think based on what we said, it's probably going to
It's
be
pretty clear cut.
yeah, because most of these we felt I think were and I actually didn't know like for example that Dangles was doing the coaching for Seattle, um, but most of these seem fairly cut and dry. Things like Damian Littleton, that's who knows. And Breakout Star, we get a better idea there because I had no idea really where an award like that can go. There's a little bit of discussion
Yeah.
maybe for playoff MVP,
Yeah. Yeah. You. Yes, I agree with that statement.
but you want to just start going down the list and kind of
Yeah, let's do it.
all right, Ron Mexico, league MVP.
I will say I've already given my votes to Izzy for this one because I am on the awards committee.
Mm-hmm.
I've already given him my votes, but I'll talk about them like I haven't.
Sure. I mean, I think Visser is the obvious choice.
Yeah,
It makes the most sense.
Visser to me is the pick for the Mexico.
I'm glad Louis Garrett's listed, but he doesn't really stand a chance in my eyes. Bennett's a little bit of a weird choice to me over somebody like Terrence Nova.
Do you think?
I think I mean, I guess it's not that big of a difference. The difference being obviously more goals for Bennett. So I don't know. It's kind of I guess it's closer to a coin toss than I thought, just given the difference in 29 to 22 goals. So I guess that's probably fine. I would have expected to see Nova there, but yeah. But yeah,
Visser's the clear cut winner there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would argue that really. But I'm glad to see, like I said, somebody like Garrett to get.
Yeah, it's good to see Garrett and Bennett. Honestly, see them both there. It's nice to see both of them there.
McBride.
Zimbaev.
Is it? I actually don't know this. I have to look at the.
I believe of the three guys that got nominated, Zimbaev had the best stats around. 4-4 was close, I think.
Oh, that's really goofy looking at those. I gotta go to a different view here. Save percentage. Moreau had a really high percentage. That's probably because he was just getting hammered with shots. Would be my guess. Yeah, Zimbaev 906, pretty good. 4-4 is 905. So it's pretty close. They both had. Well, Zimbaev actually looks like he had a fair amount fewer shots against. Shutouts? I don't know. There's not a whole lot there. I mean, it's looking like. I'd want to dig into this a little deeper, because I think you could probably make a case for 4-4. Although it's maybe the goals against difference is enough to put Zimbaev ahead. I don't feel like the really small save percentage difference is enough to really make it clear.
Yeah, right? No. For me, it's pretty tight between Zimbaev and 4-4. Mm-hmm. Marmeladov, yeah, he's the clear cut not winner of that group.
Where's Marmeladov? Same save percentage as 4-4, but I feel like it's probably goals. Where's his goals against? It's about this, a little bit more than 4-4, so it's not too bad. Yeah, he's just probably a hair behind 4-4, but which is enough to kind of put him outside. So yeah, probably Zimbaev or 4-4. Probably give the edge to Zimbaev for the goals against. I don't really know.
That's my pick. I say Zimbaev, and then 4-4's damn close though.
Yeah. That's a tougher one because it seems like most seasons it's a little bit clearer. Like there's one guy who kind of stands out, but in this case it's not really anybody. Stevens, top D.
Weber.
I think Weber's the easy choice. I don't know. I'd probably put Tanner second, but I don't know how far behind. What's Metzler? What's Metzler looking like? I feel like he had a good season. I just don't know what that looks like. 44 points. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like probably the only guy in contention behind Weber is Tanner. The other two probably aren't
Yeah, that's my thought. Tanner could make an argument for it, but I think Weber was just too damn good to not
Yeah,
give it to him.
the points, and he's not. He's in that. He's fourth in shots blocked. Obviously, substantially behind Tanner, but that's largely because Tanner's on a pretty bad team.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You got to kind of take into consideration
Mm-hmm.
the team that Tanner's playing on too.
Yeah,
Weber put those numbers up on a good Winnipeg
right.
team.
A good team that is, thin, a little bit thin at defense, but nonetheless a good team. So, if you look at Tanner, you look at obviously 112 shots blocked in a season is really good, but the number two guy was his teammate with 108. So it kind of gives you an idea of why those numbers are so high because yeah.
I mean,
They
what
were
do we
probably
always
getting,
what do we always say? You want to win. You want to win a cup. You play on a good team. You want to win awards. You play on a shit team.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's probably Weber. I don't know how people will weight things, but I feel like Weber's probably the safer bet.
Yeah, I agree.
Lance Uppercut, which is
Lance Uppercut. Seattle.
I feel like Seattle. Yeah.
I think last time we talked about awards. I think I said Seattle for both the uppercut and the McKeel.
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think there's a case to be made for Hamilton actually Hamilton. Well, probably Hamilton more than Winnipeg for best coach. But I feel like Seattle's is probably the strongest case simply because I don't think a lot of people picked them to really even make the playoffs.
They weren't supposed to be that good, and that is the reason basically that they deserve those awards.
Mm-hmm.
To finish second in a stacked Western Conference.
Yeah, and the fact that they did actually make moves leading up to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Selleck, and I think there was more than that, but I don't remember. I'd have to.
Yeah, Seattle gets my vote for uppercut and the McKeel.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so. I don't know. Yeah, like I said earlier, I didn't know that Dangles was doing their lines, so that's cool. Good job, Dangles. Jester, top rookie. I think Deckens had the most points, if I remember correctly. I should just go look, I guess. Yeah. He had 16 goals, which is quite impressive. 30 points total. It's really good. But Carlson actually had 26 points as a D-man, which is also quite good.
It's also impressive. No, I believe you're right.
Yeah,
I don't have the index pulled up.
I'm pretty sure he's a D-man because I remember thinking that that was maybe what could get him the edge there, even though 14 goals. Was it 14 or 16? 16 goals. That's really impressive. I don't know that even that many points, 26 points as a D-man is enough to beat out 16 goals for me.
I want to say I give the edge to Deckens here, but Carlson very, very close behind.
Yeah, I would say it's fairly close. There's probably a case to be made for Christ, but that 16 goals, that's so good. Where is?
I think there is a case made for Christ, and that is because I'm homering a little bit. But
yeah,
it is a bit different. It's tough to give the top rookie award to a goalie.
It is, especially when you're looking at a team that does have one of the best group of skaters in the league.
Absolutely.
But I think if I'm not good at making the case, but I think the case could be made. And Lagerfield, let me go look again.
Well, and I think the case to be made for Christ is that even if Hamilton is a great group of skaters, a shitty goalie is still going to be a shitty goalie.
Yeah.
What you're going to run into is like an 80s Oilers or like late thousands, early 10s Stars situation where they're winning games because they're outscoring you by, like the games are 7-6, right? I think Christ is still a good goalie. I don't think he's deserving of the Jester. But the argument to be made there is that even if Hamilton has a great group of skaters, Christ still played good goaltending.
Mm-hmm. So just looking really quick to see how Lagerfield stacked up against Deckens, and I don't think there's enough. There's Lagerfield's just they're both forwards. Lagerfield had 14 goals. Deckens had 16. So I think that kind of, to me, that rules Lagerfield out just outright. I think Lagerfield played slightly fewer minutes per game, but I don't care about that in this case. I don't think that matters. So yeah, I don't think Lagerfield's really a he's not going to win. I think the other three, there's a case to be made for all three, but I would favor Deckens. Any more thoughts on that?
Well, no, not really. The thing about Lagerfeld is you have to take into account the question of sheltered rookie minutes too. But I don't know how much of a factor that is in this league compared to actual hockey. I'm assuming not much, but either way, I think for me it's Deckens and Carlson, and then Christ below the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Jeff Darr. Top two-way kind of ish forward thing.
Yeah, my vote is Mike Izzy.
Izzy, interesting.
I think Izzy, Horvat. No, maybe it was Izzy Forsberg, Horvat. I don't remember.
Looking at the playoff index. Because Izzy didn't. I mean, I guess his season's fine, but let me look at the other one, Forsberg. Because I thought Forsberg was the one that I would have.
I believe it was Izzy Forsberg kind of a monster for me, 1 and 2. Very, very close between the two of them. I don't think Horvat had a good season. I just don't think Horvat's in the same. I don't think Horvat's in the discussion between the two of them.
Yeah, no. For me, it was Horvat. I mean, the problem is with this award is that it's heavily influenced by points. So Horvat is pretty much out. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of the award. With 39 points, it's a fine season. If this were a more kind of realistic type of award, more focused on defense, 39 points is a fine season. That's better than 40-point season is a very good season.
It's a very good season, absolutely.
And that's he's right there. But with the way we do this, it's really not realistic for him to win. Not given past results, especially not when you got a guy like Forsberg with 57 points and 194 hits. So I take Forsberg, I think, just on the strength of the points, which is weird, but because that's my main complaint with the Jeff Darr award.
Yeah, it's a weird award to try and determine anything for.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even really know how, because I feel like points are too heavily weighted. But I get it. I understand. So, Damian Littleton, most dedicated. This, who knows? Easy pick could be the Simmer and Evoc, but
I don't.
But I have no idea where this is gonna go. So I mean, any of these guys would probably be fine. I think, guys or girls. So, I feel like King may be a little bit of a long shot, but he has done a bunch with the as far as catching up to like
long shot here.
The graphics grading, getting that kind of back into its kind of normal form.
I'm gonna say I said it last year, and I think I said it the year before. I'm giving it to Teddy again. He spends so much time still fixing this site. I mean, he just rolled out and is still working on new skins for the site. He just rolled out a new mobile skin that actually works.
Oh, really? I haven't even messed with that at all. But yeah, I did know that.
To me, it's Teddy because he just keeps putting so much fucking work into this site. And then Evoc, and then I think Izzy. King's a long shot.
Yeah, I'd probably put Teddy and Evoc, I don't know in which order, as kind of 1, 2, and then King, Izzy, 3, 4, but I don't know. Yeah, I think Evoc and Teddy are, to me, higher.
The thing about King is it's hard to give most dedicated to a guy that's been here for
right
so little I know it's a seasonal award,
right.
It still, to me, leaves a weird taste in my mouth to give it to a guy that's only really been here a couple of seasons, and there's no telling if he's going to be that dedicated for as long as some of these other guys have been.
Yeah, I think that's probably I imagine that's probably a common attitude. So that's why partly why I wouldn't expect him to win it. Nothing against King. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's super active still. So yeah.
Aiden Rishin.
Yeah, breakout. This is the one that always I have no idea on. So
I also have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know where any.
I know Garrett Grease had a good season.
Yeah, Moreau had a hell of a season too. He actually, I believe, was the leader in save percentage.
Save percentage, yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. So there's something to be said for that.
I
I think part of that is
I struggle to give Kyler Gill any credit, considering again bad team.
yeah. Which where was he at? Sorry, it just went away. Yeah. What position was that? A forward or a defenseman? Kyler Gill. Oh boy. Let me find it here. San Francisco. Kyler Gill. Forward. 42 points. 23 goals. Yeah, I don't know. I want to know what the what other numbers look like. I have no idea on this one. I always have a lot of difficulty with this because it requires more information than I have, and I didn't spend any time to research it up.
Yeah, I'm fucking terrible with Breakout Star because it's a lot of research that I only do like once a year, once a season, and it's to vote for awards.
Let's see. What about Mr. Grease there? He probably had a pretty decent season since they're, like I said, thin at defense. Not terrible. What was the other one?
Oh, NCO Kalju.
Where's he at? Was that where the heck is he? Why do I not see him? He didn't get traded, did he? Something weird like that?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Check Seattle, maybe? I don't know. He's still marked as Edmonton.
Seattle. What did it say Edmonton? It said Edmonton, right? I'm not crazy.
It says Edmonton, yeah.
So did he get traded? He might have got traded. Because Seattle and Edmonton did make a trade. Although it doesn't say... No, so it had to have been Seattle the whole season because... unless that trade happened after the regular season?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's
there's no way it could have happened. Oh, you mean like in the offseason?
Yeah. Because there's no split stats on his... in their scoring.
Know. He's marked as Edmonton.
Yeah, he's definitely in the Seattle roster in the I can't index my brain. Yeah, and all of them are sub 40 points. So I feel like probably it's going to be Moreau or Gill. Since Kalju and Greaser both sub 40, but who knows? Who knows on that one? Playoff MVP.
Bojo.
Yeah, Bojo had a hell of a playoffs.
Bojo, yep.
I feel like if there's a discussion to be had, it's with Light and the other name Wilson. They're really, really close. And so I give Light a slight edge over Wilson just because he's got 2 game winners and 1 game tying goal. Wilson just has the 1 game winner. So I think probably in my eyes it's gonna go Bojo, Light, Wilson.
I think that's actually specifically what I voted for.
That's the way I think it goes. Yeah, Bojo had crazy playoffs. 927 save percentage is really good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I thought there would be a little more to discuss there, but I guess not. I didn't realize Bojo's save percentage was so high, so that makes it fairly easy, I think. So awards.
Awards, yeah.
There you go. As I guess more or less, maybe slightly different than what we kind of had discussed last time.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, with a little more clarity of like what's likely to happen now that we have a list of nominees.
Yes, I think we're probably going to be pretty spot on with most of our guesses here.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any. Yeah, it feels like it's like the guys that are out there that are probably going to win make sense. So
yeah, I agree. So we can kind of say that was a question answer for Kimmy, who asked us to talk about awards.
Oh, right.
There you go, Kim. We didn't talk about it last week when you asked, so here we are talking about it this week.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's funny.
Hope you're happy, asshole.
Wow.
I'm angry tonight. I'm angry every night.
So Flappy's got a few questions then.
Let's do it.
That's a Flappy with an F.
Oh, before we do Flappy, I got a quick question in from Man who people probably haven't seen on the site in quite some time. Locomotives. Don't remember his player name because he's not active anymore. Who we got? Purdue and Ohio State are playing a football game right now. Who you got, Rich?
Uh,
I don't watch college football either, so
Me too. No idea. I'm gonna say Ohio State because I think they're usually better,
I
but I
also
don't know
said
if
Ohio
that's
State.
correct.
Right now, we are about 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Purdue's up 7-3.
Ah, shit.
But
Well,
Ohio State is also undefeated this season, so
Oh,
I'm still gonna say
well.
Ohio State.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
There
No
you
idea.
go, Loco. Yeah, let's get to Flappy's questions.
All right. So, as first questions are, have any prospects stood out to you leading up to the S44 draft?
Absolutely not. I
Oh,
can't not be dishonest about that. I have no idea who's in this draft class.
yeah. This is a tough one for me too because I don't know either. Let's take a quick. What do we
Ontanus,
have?
I guess. Ontanus. He's one
Yeah,
of our
that's true.
guys.
I know about him too, so that's a good sign for him.
He's one of our guys. I'm gonna go with Ontanus. I think he's
I-
gonna be a good pickup as a defenseman who's active.
I gotta look really quick because I feel like there's probably a spreadsheet out here that Luke has that have all these guys listed, and if I can find it really quick.
Hold on, I'll tag him and see if he'll send me a link.
Because I feel like he does that stuff, and I know that stuff gets posted, so I feel like it's probably out there. If I just nope, that's S43 draftees. Crap. Where are we at? Maybe if I check his thread list, because I know he's doing this stuff. Tracking S43 draft class, comparing, tracking the S44 draft class. Here we go. Oh, what do we got? We got a Google Doc. Here, I'll send this to you really quick. Oh. Here, check that out. All right. So I don't know how up to date this is. Does it show where it was last edited? It does not. So this might be a snapshot at the time, and it probably is
Yeah.
because looking at these numbers, they look probably lower than they would be. Let me look at really quick a player and see if I can find. Yeah, so this is at least probably like a week or two out of date. Because I'm just looking at Xena, and Xena is at 272 on her roster page.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
this
gotta
is
be
probably slightly out of date.
yeah. So it's probably I would guess at least 2 weeks or in the area of 2 weeks old. So that's not crazy out of date. So we can maybe get a little information out of it. But right now, according to this, and I don't think this, I'm actually quite certain this is not the case anymore. But according to this, Cena is the leader of the class. But I'm pretty sure that's not true now. Because I think there was kind of with these last round of updates, I think there were some people shuffling a little bit. Because I know at one point, what's his name? Baylor's player was the top, but I don't think that's the case anymore. Poopity Scoop, which is
that Baylor? Yeah.
That's Baylor.
I always fucking forget.
Yeah, it's such a ridiculous name. He wanted it specifically so that in the hopes that he would have another great player and that people would have to talk about Poopity Scoop in like PTs and articles and media pieces and stuff like that. But yeah. What else do we got here? Anybody that stands out? Not really there. That's right. JP had a player as well. Who's this person? Oh, that's Ontanis. Yeah.
Yes, Taurus Carrasija. Yeah.
Yep. So I think he was one of the guys that was kind of shuffling around to that top spot for TPE as well, if I remember correctly.
He'll be a good pickup. He'll go top 3 probably.
Yeah.
Depending on who's drafting.
Who's this? Oh, Alan. That's right. I forgot he recreated as well.
That's right. Alan did. Yeah.
Stamkos fan, who is I think a new guy, isn't he? New, like this is his first player.
Maybe that's not. I'm probably confusing him with another Stamkos.
There's been
a few Stamkos.
I think there's 2 currently active that have like Stamkos related names, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I know there's been several. Yeah. But he's got a good amount of TPs, 274. He's on the All-Star committee, so he's doing stuff in the league, which is great. He's got a pretty good post count as well. So that's good stuff. Who's this guy? Oh, what's his name? KJB. Kevin Juice BXA.
Yes.
Another recreate. That of course I had forgotten had recreated in this draft. That's right. This was a pretty good recreate draft because we got Nuck as well. That's another new guy, Coops. He's at 271. So yeah, there's a handful of these people that are in the 270s. Should be probably pretty close to 300. Or actually probably in the area of capping out to begin the next season, I would think.
Yes.
And that was, what's that? That's like 9 players kind of in that position so far.
Something like that, yeah.
234. There's a bit of a drop off there. For Lily Jacobs, Rainbow Dash, of course. Eggy. How did I forget Eggy?
Eggy, high quality pick.
Yeah.
I forgot how many big name recreates are in this draft class.
That's what happens when you don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. Yeah, just completely forgot about the commissioner of the league recreating. But yeah, he's a bit behind in TPE, but that could be just an update that hasn't been updated as recently. He's been updated a week ago, so he should be roughly in the same kind of area the other players. But that could still be that discrepancy of TPE could still be accounted for by just a weird update or a slightly mistimed update. So maybe he's not so far back. But yeah, tons of recreates. Jeez. Oh, Tweedle, but of course he's a co, so he's not going to be. He's going to be going to
San Francisco.
Yes, San Francisco. Yeah. I don't know how that slipped my mind. Crutch, of course. What's his name? Previously Michael Boychuk.
Yes. $1 and a Dream.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right. I could just look.
Is that right?
Because we got it right here. $1 and a Dream. Yep. Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount of really good recreates here. And that's like the first 15 players or so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big name recreates this year.
A lot, yeah. Like probably the first round's going to be probably dominated by recreates. I mean, more so than usual. Ragnar came back as well. Mac, if you're into that thing, is out there, into that sort of thing. I know some people don't particularly like him, but he's there. But I think he wants to get drafted the same place that somebody else goes. But I forget who. Is it Nuck, maybe? Or is it somebody else? Might have been Nuck, but I don't remember. Because there was him and one other guy were talking about how they wanted to go to the same SHL team, but I don't recall. Yeah, this is not super focused right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, neither of us kind of.
Yeah, it's not something we're real in tune with, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't. This.
Did the Jets own their pick this year?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I think I would know this shit, being part of the fucking team that runs the league, but here I am.
Draft Central. I want to see if we got a pick. Where's the? Oh God, isn't there somewhere where the pick tracker? It's in the transactions, isn't it?
Yeah, it got moved. It's a public pick tracker now.
Yeah. Team draft pick tracker. Let's see where. Oh God, there's a spreadsheet for it now. Oh man. Okay, where do we got? Winnipeg. No, it looks like. What do you call it? San Francisco has their first and second.
Oh.
So is that? I think that's what this means. Because San Francisco, it looks to me like has Winnipeg and Edmonton's firsts, which aren't great, but still, first round picks. They probably can pick up a solid recreate in that spot, or one of the top new players. And then Winnipeg's second, which is not great, probably, unless this draft is a lot deeper than I think it is, which it could be. But so I guess there's not. I was going to suggest maybe something for Flappy in terms of a pick, but it looks like they are not going to be picking. Maybe even in a spot where there's going to be any active players.
I do have a thing from Luke now.
Yeah.
I do have a thing from Luke, and I'll send it to you. Actually, maybe I won't, because this might be a San Francisco draft sheet. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm head office, so it's okay. I'm not on a GM. I'm not a GM or anything, but it's interesting to note that a majority of this class still hasn't even cracked 175.
Do what? Oh, you mean in terms of like overall?
TPE, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of inactives then, or low active players. Although if they haven't hit
Yes.
175, they're probably inactive because that takes like basically 2 updates and you're there. So yeah, it's probably a bit thin, but that top like round and a half is probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Baylor,
I
Xena.
mean, Baylor's
fucking-
Minnesota though, unfortunately.
Yes.
it's
So
like,
Baylor will be gone. But
like Baylor, Tweedle, and was there any more than that? I don't think there were. I think those are the
don't
two
think so.
auto drafty types.
Oh well, Crutch.
Well, but yeah, there's not. I mean, that's not.
There's no guarantee though.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I think if Texas is probably picking high enough where they can probably take him because I think he's probably relatively low-ish TPE.
250.
Oh, it's not too bad. But I mean, there's like 6 to 8 guys that have like 270 at this point.
Yeah,
probably
no.
more.
4 apparently.
Oh, really?
4.
I saw at least 4.
So I was gonna say there's 8 guys above 260.
Okay, I think he might.
He'll
might
fall.
not
He'll
update it
fall
right
to
away because I
Texas.
saw at least 4 that were 270.
Maybe he'll fall to Texas. There are 4
Yeah,
270. But yeah, Crutch will fall enough that Texas can take him.
Yeah. Did the lottery happen? I think it did, didn't it?
Yes.
Oh boy. S44 draft lottery. Oh god, why? Yeah, there we go. What do we got? Is that the? That's not the result. Let's see what we got here. New England and Edmonton. Wait, what? What's going on here? So New England got New England got first overall. It looks like. If I'm seeing this correctly, I don't see the official post, but I just see people posting about it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Because Eggy, for whatever reason, doesn't update the initial post with the result. Because god damn it. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be New England. Oh, wait. Yeah. Where is the result? There it is. First overall belongs to New England. Okay. So that's probably Eggy that picked there, right? You got to think.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm trying to think who else they would take over Eggy. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be
But that
Eggy.
means Texas didn't move then, so they're staying in what, sixth?
Sixth.
Right?
Sixth,
That should be,
yes.
I would think, plenty to
they'll get Crutch.
Crutch. Yeah, because I think there's in my if I were drafting, I don't think I would take him before. If I was in one of those top 5 spots,
I wouldn't. There are better players than Crutch to take in the top 5. But you're right. New England probably takes Eggy at 1. I don't know.
That makes the most sense, but maybe not. I mean,
new management. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's right. Would it make sense for a guy like Ace stepping into the management role to bring in a previous manager and like a previous one of their kind of
beloved franchise guys.
Right. Yeah. Face of the franchise not really face of the franchise maybe, but kind of.
He's a legend. He's a franchise legend.
Right. So is that a good idea or is that a bad idea?
I don't know. New management. We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go, Flappy. There's your sort of stumbled over.
We figured it out.
Review of
We
the
figured it
S44
out.
draft class. You got anything else to add?
No, that's it.
Okay, so his second question is for me. Now he says, "Who are the front runners for Lundberg and free agency this season?" That's really tricky. I wouldn't say there's any front runners. I guess I can talk about this bit.
Can you? Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
A little bit.
I'm going to be looking for kind of a specific thing. There's front runners is difficult because I'm going to be very open to where I go. There's only a couple places I will not go. I'm not going to discuss that, but I will say what I'm looking for in terms of what I want to sign for. So I've talked about this over the past few weeks that I want to hit 3,000 hits. So that's what I'm after. I'm after hits. So I'm looking for ice time. I'm looking for probably minimum of 21 minutes or better, hopefully better. I think that's probably attainable. The other thing I'm looking for is line mates with low checking because I want all those hits. And when I was looking through kind of a little bit of research to see what teams might be possible destinations, there's actually a lot of teams with like checking is. There's not a lot of teams with players to check, so there's a lot of possibilities. I think.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a lot more wide open than I thought. My initial thought was like, okay, it's probably going to be like a Manhattan, San Francisco, Toronto. Who else? Yeah, Manhattan, San Francisco, Toronto. Those were like the ones that stood out to me. Is like because they're young, they're bad, so I can kind of take a lot of minutes on those teams without really hurting anybody. And there's since they've got young players, they're not going to have a lot of checking because they're going to be putting their points into things they care about more. So those ones like stood out to me right away. Like, oh, it's probably going to be these guys. But yeah, like I said, as I started looking through rosters, I noticed it's not as simple as that. I don't think. Because yeah, most teams don't have a lot of guys, especially forwards that are like over 70 checking. I would like to share a line with guys that are sub 70, actually sub 60 would be I think ideal. Because I think somebody at 70 or better is going to take away too many hits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I shared a line with what was his name, Bobby Watson, last season for most of the season, and he has 61 checking, and that didn't hurt me too bad. I think I was on pace for probably about 180 ish. But it was a little spotty in a couple of sims where I would get like single hit games, like a stretch of single hit games, which was a little frustrating. But then I got moved later on up to a line with um, Terrence Nova, and he has like 75 or something like that. He's in the 70s for sure, and my hits became very erratic. So then it was even more like single, even some zero hit games. But then I'd get the occasional 6 hit game, so it kept me in a pace of like 3 hits per game, maybe, which is not. I'm not happy with that. So I ended up at about I think 155 on the season. You can check that because I think I got it right here. Yep, 155, which is fine, but I really would like to not have anything less than that. Like 150 is kind of like my floor. I don't want to be any lower than 150. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm after primarily. After that, it's going to be a kind of a range of factors, including money and potential for playoff appearances. I don't. My expectation is I'm more likely to go to a team that is not likely to make the playoffs. Um, but I don't know that'll be the case or not. That was my expectation going in, given what I'm kind of looking for. Um, but I would like more playoff appearances because right now I think quite high up on the all-time playoff games played list. If I'm like probably top 3, top 5 for sure, but probably top 3. And I'd like to keep that, or maybe get first in
Yeah,
that. I don't think it's a
I
big deal, but
imagine.
it's kind of a neat thing. But primarily hits. That's the one thing I want. My goal is to have 180, average about 180. If I could hit that 200 mark, that would be fantastic because that would put me in a really good spot. Because like I am looking forward to recreating. I really am.
Yeah,
So
I
the sooner I
bet.
can get to this 3,000, the sooner I can get recreate. So yeah, I'm going full selfish mode basically.
And that's fair. Once again, to quote the great John Lundberg, be selfish.
uh, hey, I've
No problem with that.
never said anything like that. Come
Never, never, never,
on.
never, never. Did you leave those tweets yet?
So yeah, I'm hoping for hits. I'm hoping for minutes. I'm hoping for maybe a bit of money to kind of bump my account. That's not a big deal. I'm doing okay there. Yeah, front runners. I have no idea. It looks pretty wide open.
Well, and
Yeah,
free agency hasn't really opened yet either, so it's hard
yeah.
to tell.
That's the other thing. I really don't know what's going to happen. Although I have looked at his what Erm's free agency list, I'm probably one of the top ones, if not the top, because most of the other guys have resigned or I expect to resign. Maybe actually take a look at that really quick to see if there's anybody that's. Although I am taking a really big regression hit. So where is Erm's thing? Free agency watch. Here we go. So obviously Joe K, Visser, Nova, those guys aren't going anywhere. Weber, Evans, Volkova, they were all resigned. Otto retired. Kosonen already signed. Yeah, like basically everybody above me. Thorsten is there, but I would expect him to stay. Actually, no, that's not true. Wazi is there, and he could potentially move.
Yeah,
I don't know
potentially.
what I have no idea what his plans are. Oh, that's the other thing I should mention is that I am absolutely not ruling out Minnesota. They will have the same opportunity everybody else does to make me an offer. So, and like I said, it's more wide open than I had realized when I looked at rosters in terms of teams with players with low checking. So absolutely not ruling out Minnesota. But then after that, Odegaard, another guy in Minnesota that I do not expect to move. And then I'm there at 17th in terms of TPE, although that TPE is not accurate, and I'm losing like another 280 or something.
Right.
So I'm actually I'm a bit over 1,000 after a regression. So yeah, but that's still a pretty, in terms of a player that's actually legitimately going to free agency. That's it's pretty good. So yeah, so I should have, I would think, plenty of offers, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
mean, it's probably a topic worth revisiting once free agency actually opens.
Yeah, I actually I think it might be kind of neat. I don't know how much I would want to go into it in terms of like kind of letting people know the offers that are coming in, but maybe if I'm still like on the market next week, if I don't know what our plan is next week, but if that's still kind of ongoing, I could kind of talk about my decision making as it's kind of happening. Maybe that might be kind of interesting. But I guess the timing might be different. I might get all excited and sign like immediately with somebody. Who knows? That's kind of what happened last time when I was going to take my time and just sign with a big contract somewhere that I was happy with, and then I got super excited about Portland and signed pretty quickly. So we'll
And
see.
then everything changed.
So he's got a third question, which we kind of already talked about, I guess.
Which one is it?
Not-
Their thoughts
not
on
in
the
any
finals?
depth.
Yeah, we kind of
Yeah.
talked about it already.
Yeah, it's just Wes Kendall super hot in the playoffs.
As you
After
expect,
not-
yeah.
Being so hot in the regular season.
They're up and down, they're up and down, they're up and down.
How close were they to missing the playoffs? I don't think they were that close because I feel like
No.
I could be wrong on that though. Let me take.
I want to say
standings.
they were not that close.
They were 2 points ahead of Toronto, so they weren't that far ahead. So yeah, I wouldn't say they like snuck into the playoffs. I don't think that's the case, but they weren't that far from missing. And then to go just turn it on in the playoffs, that's pretty impressive. Great job, Bojo.
Just a quick update. Purdue Boilermakers are up 14-3 at halftime.
Oh no!
The Ohio State Buckeyes are going to lose their first game of the year.
It was halftime, you said?
It's halftime. There's still 30 minutes left, so we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not invested at all.
I am not either. But you know
don't
what? We
actually
talked
care.
about it earlier, so I'm going to Chekhov's gun it and make sure it comes back in the third act. That's Floppy's questions, right?
Yeah.
I have a couple of live questions.
Uh-oh.
And by a couple of live questions, I mean Sweg wanted to know how you were doing.
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you, Sweg.
He wanted me to say hello from your buddy Sweg.
Oh, hi, Sweg. Is his name still Search Bing on the
Well,
website?
I have no idea.
Because I really enjoy that username. It just makes me chuckle every. Yep, it's still Search Bing.
Good.
It's just, I think that's another Bojo one because Bojo paid to have him change it to something, and I think Bojo paid to have him change it to this too. And this one it's just silly and
I like it a lot.
I enjoy it. Yeah, Search Bing.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So hi, Swag. I appreciate you. I'm sad that you left us in Minnesota, but that's how it goes in this league.
It's just it's the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Was that all of his?
That was it. That's all I got from Sweg.
Cool.
JCF wanted to know our thoughts on the New England GM situation. I told him we talked about it last week a bit, but if there was anything worth reiterating, I would ask.
I don't think so.
They're going to be fine. I think is basically what the answer we came to was New England's going to be fine.
Yeah, I feel like he's trying to retool slightly.
Yes, absolutely.
He clearly didn't go full rebuild because he didn't just. I mean, he did move a lot of good pieces, obviously, but it feels like those were pieces that were not going to stick around. So he's kind of forced into this little retool situation. They were a fringe team already, I think. So I think it's fine. They're going to become slightly less competitive, but still kind of in that area where maybe they make the playoffs. Probably not, but maybe. And then they're going to be able to. They've added some younger guys, and they've added some picks, so hopefully they were able to kind of, like I said, not rebuild, but
retool.
Retool a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, New England will be fine.
Yeah. We can talk about some retirements because there were not on the level they were last season, but there's some good ones.
Let me pull it up. I haven't seen it. What
Yeah.
big ones? What big ones did we get?
Christian Eriksen.
Oh, finally. Not to
Nicolina.
sound like I want him to get rid of. Yeah, I knew that EJ was retiring.
Dieter Dominique.
Surprised to see Cameron Dubois retiring. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... LB retired.
Yeah, that one is a little weird. I don't know where he was at with that player, but that seems premature. But I could be wrong. I don't remember when his draft
LB was. LB was my draft year.
Oh, so that's not. I mean, that's not super early, but it's definitely pre-regression, right?
10 seasons. 10 seasons.
So he was about to enter regression. Is that right?
We had one more year in SHL. We have one more year in SHL before regression starts. So next year is the last year of non-regression for my class.
Okay. I don't think he was super active on that player either, so that might be the reason. I don't think he was bad, but I don't think he was like
where he wanted to be.
Probably not. I would want to. He was on Winnipeg still. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Riva Bene was a Winnipeg guy.
Let's see where he's at here. Where's Mr. LB? He was able, almost 1,200 TPE, so he was actually in a pretty good spot. He would have been an effective depth forward for sure. Like especially on a team like that where they can probably slot him in on the third line with the amount of skater depth they have. I don't know where he was actually playing, but yeah, I mean it's a little premature, but I don't think it's like crazy.
Yeah, it's not crazy. It's been 10 seasons, and if he wasn't where he wanted to be with them, then that is what it is.
Yep. And they've got guys coming up too, so it's not totally crazy. But yeah, I mean the big ones to me are Eriksen and Lena, obviously. But I mean that's not news to anybody. I think anybody would make that same assessment.
Yeah, I agree.
We've also got Insight back-ish, maybe.
Yeah, I think Insight's coming back. Yes.
It's hard to tell what that'll mean, but
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in a few seasons. That could potentially be a big recreate player. It's kind of hard to say, but yeah. I don't know. There's not a ton to say there. Obviously, Eriksen's the probably the biggest news there.
Eriksen and Lena are the big ones there.
Yeah, and Eriksen's one of the kind of the big three, I guess, with him, Asa, and Garbanzo.
Oh, you mean the old man? Yeah.
Yeah. So having him go, it's like, which one's going to be next? My suspicions it'll be Garbanzo.
Oh yeah, no one's going to outlast Asa.
Yeah, I think Argar has been hinting his desire to recreate. I don't know I think it's probably hinging upon whether or not his player continues to be successful. I think one kind of off season and he's going to be just done with it. Last season was probably borderline, I think, for his player of where he want to be at to continue. Let me take a look really quick because I think he was okay-ish. Where's he at? 42 points. That's still pretty good for a defenseman.
I agree.
So yeah, I that makes sense. But I think if he had a mark, I don't remember what it was, but if he was like below a certain number of points, can't remember if he said at the trade deadline or at the halfway mark. I don't remember which it was, but he had a mark. If I'm not at this point, then it's probably my last season, and it was really close. I think this previous season. So we get at least one more season of him. Asa, I don't have any idea what his plan is. My guess is he's going to be the first to 1,000, if I'm not mistaken, and
yeah.
So maybe that'll be the point where he calls it quits. I don't know. In the past, he has said that his keeping the player was a management decision. He just having that extra player that can play depth is valuable, which makes sense. I'm not super thrilled about that. I don't think that's a great reason to hang on to a player, but it is what it is. So yeah, I think he'll probably be the last.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna outlast Lesa. Fuck. I don't think anybody's gonna outlast Asa in that group.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the biggest news. How are we doing on time?
I was gonna say it's about time for a time check, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are just short of a minute. Fuck, an hour and 5 minutes. I'm having a night tonight.
So we're over an hour, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we made it over an hour with basically nothing.
Perfect. There was another topic, but I think we can save that for later because it's not time sensitive.
Let's talk about that next week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, because we're going to be still off season, so there may or may not be less to talk about because we're not going to have games most likely unless we want to talk about IHF.
I was going to say internationals is about it.
I don't have a whole lot to say about that because I find it boring.
Yeah, we'll see how the Germans are doing. That'll determine whether or not I'm happy about the Germans or incredibly angry about the Germans. We'll
here we
see.
go. We just got an announcement. So the SHL draft is officially Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, fuck, I gotta run that. I gotta run that.
Oh, condolences.
I think that is... I might be in lecture during that. I'm gonna have to run that from lecture.
Oh. I mean, as long
We'll
as
see.
the site is functional this year.
Oh, man,
okay.
that was horrible. That was awful.
It was so bad. The timing was just awful. Like, whatever. That's how it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah, it really do be like that.
All right.
Monday night. Brutal.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. You got anything else you want to add to that, or?
I am good there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything else that I might want to talk about is not time sensitive, so we can
talk about it next week. Okay. So, I mean, as always, if you've made it this far, thanks so much for listening. I'm Adam. This is Rich.
Hello.
And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Mm-hmm.